As she expected early on, numerous nobles came to oppose their alliance with House Davian, such as her sister Nundi, who was a Lyran supremacist to the core. Among some of them, a cabal dubbed the Patriots was secretly led by Frederick Steiner, who was commanding at the time the 10th Lyran Guards. Too busy with his military affairs, Frederick allowed his partner in crime, Duke Aldo Lestrade of Summer, to act as his proxy. Lestrade lobbied both Sky radical separatists and undecided nobles bordering the periphery to support the Patriots' position regarding the debate on this alliance. Among the numerous Patriot schemes to embarrass Katrina Steiner, disgrace any visiting Davian diplomat, or even to remove Melissa Steiner as Archon designate and thus break the Steiner-Davian Treaty. 2. Assassination attempts were also made against the Archon herself during that time. Nevertheless, more people saw the benefits of this alliance as time went on, and the Patriots ended up losing momentum, if only for a while. One of the greatest challenges Katrina had was tackling both concerns regarding the LCAF top-heavy military culture, the social generals, and the disproportionate number of heavy and assault mechs within her units. By 3023, she appointed Edward Regis as the general of the armies and overall commander of the LCAF, who had served during Alessandro's reign and was the original architect of the concentrated weakness strategy. Despite being in disfavor for many years, Regis have proved himself not at fault for the blunder and considered the most able to make major military decisions on her behalf. But even with the current high command recognizing the value of mixed mechs forces and combined arms tactics, the predominance mentality across the regiments was focused on only one thing: brute force. The extensive military exercises through Operations Galahad and Thor, also known as the Alliance Games, helped numerous LCAF units to improve upon their poor performance. On the diplomatic side, Archon Katrina Steiner used both LCAF and LIC agents to contact underground separatist organizations across the Hrasahalg region of the Draconis Combine, such as the Tyr Resistance Movement. A meeting was formalized on Tamar, with the leaders agreeing to work together with the Lyran government against House Kurita. Satisfied with the current developments, Katrina planned with her high command for the coming offensive campaign against the Draconis Combine, putting her sister Nundi in overall command of the entire invasion. As Hans Davian initiated the Fourth Succession War during his own wedding with Melissa Steiner in August 3028 with Operation Rat, so Katrina did the same through Operation Gotterdammerung, a massive broad invasion of the Hrasahalg and Dieron military districts with the goal to destroy as many DCMS units as possible. In the following months, more than 20 worlds fell to the Commonwealth onslaught on the first wave, and another 20 more by October, even if resistance became stiffer. While the Lyrans were claiming world loss in the earlier wars, issues multiplied through the extended supply lines and troops growing increasingly fatigued, as the DCMS was a better military force to face against than the Federated Sons troops had facing the Capellans. Worse still, the Combine launched a counter-offensive that placed them in the midst of the Sky Federation, which helped Duke Aldo Lestrade to create a political firestorm, decrying the failure of the invasion and fanning the growing Sky independence movement. Despite a near assassination attempt on her person again, Katrina kept the pressure on the front in 3029. Launching a third wave of attacks along the Tamar and Sky fronts, codenamed Operation Alder. However, combined counterstrikes brought the Commonwealth momentum to a grinding halt, and the war degenerated to a series of border raids. At this point, Katrina recognized that her nation couldn't keep the pressure on the Draconis Combine any longer, and thus informed her ally Hans Davion of her intent to end Operation Gotterdammerung and consolidate her nation's gains. Despite his own disappointment and initial reluctance, Hans finally agreed on her assessment. On the 10th January 3030, Archon Katrina Steiner and First Prince Hans Davion announced to the Ionosphere the cessation of their respective offensive campaigns, which led to an official peace treaty in February. While 100 new worlds did fall under the Lyran Aegis, and numerous political enemies of Katrina have been gone through the Fourth Succession War, Duke Aldo Lestrade was murdered in 3029, Duke Frederick Steiner died while leading a military action against a combined counteroffensive planned by Prince Theodore Kurita later that year, and her uncle Alessandro succumbed to cancer in late 3030. Katrina had by this point lost any taste regarding war. Though wildly successful, the apparent gains of the Fourth Succession War came at a terrible price. Disrupt trade and conscription of civilian jumpship ravaged the Lyran economy, while our allies went through a hard recession due to Comstar interdiction. By the end of the Fourth Succession War, stress fractures among the nascent FedCom alliance, particularly with the rise of rivalries and grudges among the military and intelligence agencies. Worse still, despite the loss of their prominent patriot leaders, opponents of the alliance grew more vociferous in the Commonwealth. All those factors combined were enough for the Archon, who curbed Hans's enthusiasm for the next conflict in the coming years, and thus not giving in despite his constant pressure for further assaults on the Draconis Combine.